Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Kailan may di kita'y pagpapalit, pagkas sa piling mo'y langit. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Habang buhay, pagpupurihan ka. Habang buhay, mangliling ko sa'yo. Habang buhay, ang buhay ko sa'yo ialaan. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Kailan may di kita'y pagpapalit, pagkas sa piling mo'y langit. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Habang buhay, pagpupurihan ka. Habang buhay, mangliling ko sa'yo. Habang buhay, ang buhay ko sa'yo ialaan. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Kailan may di kita'y pagpapalit, pagkas sa piling mo'y langit. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon. Mahal na mahal kita, Panginoon.
Binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw. Ngayon, bukas at kailanman, ang pag-ibig ko ay laging tapat. Love, 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 tayo'y magmahalan. Love, 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 tayo'y magkamayan. Love, 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 tayo'y magawitan ngayon. Binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw. Ngayon, bukas at kailanman, ang pag-ibig ko ay laging tapat. Love, 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 tayo'y magmahalan. Love, 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 tayo'y magkamayan. Love, 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 tayo'y magawitan ngayon. Binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw, binabago mo ako araw-araw. Ngayon, bukas at kailanman, ang pag-ibig ko ay laging tapat. Love, 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 tayo'y magmahalan. Love, 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 tayo'y magkamayan. Love, 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 tayo'y magawitan ngayon. Love, 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 tayo'y magmahalan. Love, 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 tayo'y magkamayan. Love, 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 tayo'y magawitan ngayon.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the grandma today, and Grandma's going to tell you a story But this is a really true story that happened in the land of Egypt. Now, you might not know much about the land of Egypt, but you have been learning in your story that is where the Pharaoh kept the Israelites working as slaves. But God had a promise, and God called Moses to come out, to bring the people out of Egypt. He's going to come back and he's going to bring them out. Now, Moses didn't know how he's going to do this, but today he gets instructions and he gets a very big help from God. Now, before we start, I want to ask you something. Our verse for today: be sure to fear the Lord and serve him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things he has done for you. So it says to fear the Lord. To fear the Lord means to obey the Lord. And today we will hear some more about two men. One of them obeyed the Lord, and one of them refused to obey the Lord. Which one do you think? Moses or Pharaoh that obeyed, and which one did not obey? Okay, so we have to think about today, what one would you rather be? Would you rather be Moses or would you rather be Pharaoh? Many of us have gone through times in our lives when we are very, very stubborn. Matigas ang ulo. At ito, ngayon, we will hear about someone who was very matigas ang ulo. Okay? God told Moses to tell Pharaoh everything that he would tell him. And he said, Pharaoh will not listen. But he said, I will send many acts of judgment, many plagues, many bad things will happen to Egypt. And gradually, the Egyptians will come to know that I am God. And at the end, Pharaoh will have to let you go. So the first thing that happened was that Moses had a staff. I should have a staff here. A staff is a walking stick that all of the men used because there were not good roads in those days. Okay, so he had this staff. And Aaron threw down the staff and it became a snake. But the magicians could also do that. So Pharaoh said, what's that? And he didn't want God's people to leave Egypt. So in all of these things, I will go over them one by one, and you will think, did this ever happen to somebody before? Did this ever happen? You can think about that. Do you understand what it was that was happening? But in every time God would start, he would give Pharaoh a warning. He said, Pharaoh, let my people go, and if you don't let them go, I'm going to send this plague. So, may warning si Pharaoh. Number 2, Pharaoh would decide, no, I will not let them go. So, decision, okay? Number 3, God would send a plague. Number 4, Pharaoh would say, Moses, come and ask your God to send the plague away. I will let them go. And number 5, Moses would come and send the plague away and talk to God about it and ask him to have mercy on the people. And then Pharaoh would say, no, I'm not going to let them go. So it happened 10 different times, and I will tell you about it now. The first things that God sent were irritating, nakakainis, istorbo, malaking istorbo. The first thing was, God said, Aaron, stretch out your staff over the land of Egypt, and the water will turn to blood. And the water turned to blood, and it stunk all over Egypt. It was so stinky. And they tried to get water to drink. Dati kumukuha sila sa ilog ng drinking water. And they couldn't get it. They tried to dig along the river and get water, and they couldn't get any good water to drink. And naiinis sila. So after Moses told the stinky water to go away, And the water was clean again. Then Pharaoh said, "No, I will not let them go." Are there any children kaya na nagsasabi, "No, mommy, I won't do it"? Well, we'll think about that. Number 2, the next plague, God warned them again. And he said, "I'm going to send frogs. I know you like frogs. They're so cute. I'm going to send frogs. But these frogs, they will come into your houses. They will jump in your food when you're making it. They will jump on your body, on your baby. They will even get into your bedroom. They will be everywhere, all over the place." And Pharaoh didn't listen, so God sent the frogs. And these frogs were bothering the Egyptians and making them so upset, afraid, and everything, nakakainis yung mga frogs na yon. So Pharaoh said, "Send the frogs away, send the frogs away. Tell your God to send the frogs away." So Moses sent the frogs away. And then he said, "I'm not going to let you go." So next, what happened? Well, God sent something else. He warned Pharaoh, and Pharaoh didn't listen. So he sent, now in our Bible it says gnats. You may not know what gnats are. They're littler than mosquitoes. They're very tiny, and they can get through the Colombo. They can get through the screen windows and everything, and they come and they bite you just like mosquitoes. But you can, they will bite you. Nakakainis, yung parang mangangati ka. Ay, ang sakit. So, but in the other Bible I read, it said they were mosquitoes. So it depends, kasi sometimes when you translate from one place to another, you don't know what is the exact word that they used to use for those insects. But anyway, even if swarms and swarms of mosquito, I mean just 2 or 3 mosquito, nahirapan tayo kasi nakaka-dengue tayo, kung ano-ano, meron kumakagat sa atin, nangangati. Pero imagine, if these mosquitoes were coming in and getting on everybody, okay? So those people behind are trying to fan the king, but it doesn't help. And he said, "Okay, you can go, just send those mosquitoes away." So Moses called to God. God sent a wind, sent the mosquitoes away. And then Pharaoh said, "No, I'm not going to let you go." Okay, so one more nakakainis na bagay. Ang tawag ni Lola, bangaw. But we call it flies. Flies, but they were like those big flies na, I don't know, I used to live on a farm, and naiinis yung mga baka kung maraming flies, and they would switch their tail and switch their tail. Minsan tumatakbo sila kung naiinis sila. Yung mga flies, they like to be around animals dahil sa, they lay their eggs in the poo of the animals, and they come all around the animals, and then they like to come in the house and see what you have for supper, and then they get on the food, and they bring you all kind of diseases, and they're really irritating. Sometimes I would get 100 at a time if I put up one of those sticky things. Pero can you imagine swarms and swarms of flies all over the place, probably from those dead frogs, no? Probably from those dead frogs, there were a lot of flies came out. So, naiinis naman sila, and what happened? Sabi ni Pharaoh, "Sige." And now, you see something over here? These are the Israelites and their animals, and they're not getting bothered. Interesting. They are not getting bothered by these insects. So Pharaoh called, and who answered? God answered, and he sent away the flies. And then Pharaoh said, "No, I'm not going to let them go." And he did not keep his promise. Well, then there were some more. God said, okay, one step higher. I want you to really understand that I am God. So this time, apektado yung health nila, yung animals nila, yung mga halaman nila sa next plague. So we had 4 plagues na nakakainis. And the next 4 plagues are sicknesses and troubles. Okay, so the first one was peste. We call it in Tagalog. Murrain, they call it in English. But it was an infectious disease that hit all the animals, and the animals died. They probably didn't die out in the field. Probably they were trying to keep many, many, many of them in one place, so one would get sick and they would all get sick. But the Israelites' animals were not touched. Sabi ni Pharaoh, something going on here. Bakit yung akin namamatay, yung kanila hindi? Ayun, exactly. That's what God wanted him to think about. God wanted him to think of who God is and who are his people. Okay, you see those 2 birds up there? Those are called vultures. And vultures come when there are dead bodies around. So those vultures are looking for those dead bodies. Number 6. When all of these, after this, God warned Pharaoh again, and something happened. Now, it wasn't insects anymore, it wasn't flies, but they had boils. Pigsa. How many of you have had pigsa? Nakakainis yung pigsa. Hindi ka makaupo, hindi ka makatayo. Talagang naiirita ka. Minsan you get fever from it. And so everybody had boils, and more than one. Minsan meron tayo isa dito sa baywang, or whatever. But these people had pigsa all over their body. And they were upset, and the magicians couldn't even come in and bow down to Pharaoh. Oh, King Pharaoh, what do you want us to do? No. Everybody was affected. And and Pharaoh called out to God again. Okay, I will let you go, but only part of you. And then, sabi ni Moses. And then when all the boils were gone, what happened? Pharaoh said, not going to let you go. And he changed his mind. The next thing that happened was, have I got the right picture? No, I don't have the right picture. Locust, hail. Locust muna. Locust before hail. Anyway, you can check it in your Bible. These locusts were going to come, and at a certain time of the year, they came, but this time there were millions and millions and millions. If you know, right now there's a big locust plague that went across from Saudi Arabia all the way to China. And they eat up everything in their path. They eat the grass, they eat the leaves, they eat the anything green, and they will just crawl right over your houses. They're not going to attack people, but they will really run into you. These are big ones. They're clean animals, and they only eat grass. They don't eat dirty things. You can eat them if you want. I think they're called balang here. But there are thousands and millions of them, and they ate up everything. Okay, so then Pharaoh said, send these locusts away. Sige, I will let you go, but don't bring any animals, or something like that. And so they all went away, and of course, Pharaoh changed his mind. No, can't go. And then the next thing was hail. So, kung ano ang naiwan ng locust, pinatay ng hail. You know what hail is? See those white things? That's yellow. Parang ice cubes. And pwede palaki ng palaki yun. That comes from hot air rising up to the sky, and then it gets cooled so fast, and all the water and the hot air turns into ice cubes, and it goes up and down and up and down, and the ice cubes keep getting bigger, and then they go pung, 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 pung. And they hit on everybody. They can really hurt you. They can kill you. Imagine if you had stones falling on you from way, way, way up in the sky. It would hurt you very bad. So they could die. The people who were out in the fields could die. The animals who were out in the fields could die. And so some of the men, by that time, they believed Moses, and they said, let's get our animals in. We don't want to die from this hail. So pinasok nila yung mga animals nila at yung iba hindi. So what happened now? Did they believe? They began to beg the king to stop being stubborn. They began to believe God, but not Pharaoh. He is not ready yet. But God has, let's see, what number plague is this? 8, he has 2 more. And then he said, they're going to go. They're going to let you go. But the last 2, hindi lang nasaktan ng tao, hindi lang nadamay ang pagkain nila, ang halaman nila, or whatever they had, but the last one, natakot na sila. And ganito ang nangyari. Ngayon, dito sa side nito, of course the Israelites, they were not so close to the place where the Egyptians lived. But in the place where the Egyptians lived, it was so dark. You couldn't even see your hand in front of your face. It was very, very dark. No sun, no moon, nothing. You couldn't see anything. But on the side where the Israelites lived, there was sunshine. Amazing. Nakita ni Pharaoh, narinig niya. And he couldn't go anywhere, and he couldn't do anything. And it covered, the darkness covered their place for how many days? 3 days. Okay, so what happened? Okay, sige, you can go, but leave your children behind. Oh no, we're not going to leave our children, Moses said. Okay, not going to let you go, sabi ni Pharaoh. But then God said, I have one more. At saka malalaman niyo itong kwento next week, I hope, I think. Because this is the most terrible thing that Pharaoh did, that God did to Pharaoh. But he said, all of the firstborn children will die. Ibig sabihin, ang panganay sa bawat family. Now, if you think about it, some of those panganay were like me. I'm panganay. I'm 70 plus years old, and I'm still a panganay. You never stop being a panganay. So some of them were old people, some were middle-aged, some were children. And you can see in this picture, even the animals, namatay yung panganay nila. And you can see couples crying because their child is dead, and so forth, in the middle of the night. So the angel came over, and it hit only the eldest in every house. So this wasn't a sickness, because a sickness would not choose. This is really the hand of God and his angel. And God said to Moses, after that, he will send you out. And that's what happened. But you'll learn about that next week. So who is the one who always obeyed God and did what he said, even though it seems impossible? Okay? And who is the one who was very stubborn? Okay, now which one do you want to be? Do you want to be obedient to God? I thank God because when I was a little girl, I decided to follow God, and he helped me. He helped me get over being stubborn. He helped me learn to obey. He helped me learn to follow my parents. And he helped me in so many ways. So he would give me instruction. He told me what country to go to, what time. He would tell me what to do, what to say. And God has been with me all of these 71 years, and I am so very, very thankful to God, and thankful for the path that he led me. And I want all of you children to obey the Lord. So I'm going to pray for you. Lord, I just pray today that you will help every one of these children to be obedient like Moses. Moses learned the hard way, but he became an obedient servant of yours. He obeyed his father-in-law, he obeyed his parents, and he obeyed you, and he obeyed your instructions very carefully. So I want to be, and I want them to be like Moses. I want them to be children who love you and follow you all the days of their life. Not like Pharaoh, who was very stubborn. I ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Kamusta mga bata? Nakinig ba kayong mabuti sa kwento ngayong linggo? Nalaman natin ang kwento tungkol sa 10 salot na ipinadala ng Panginoon para patunayan sa Pharaoh ng Egypt kung sino ang tunay na hari. Ang ating memory verse ay tungkol dito. Sabay-sabay nating basahin. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart. Consider the great things He has done for you. 1 Samuel 12 verse 24. Ayan. Napansin niyo, napakahaba ng memory verse natin, kaya hahatiin natin siya sa easy version at saka sa difficult version. Yung mga younger kids, pwede nilang practicein yung easy version, tas yung mga older kids naman, sa kanila yung difficult version. Sige, una muna natin gawin yung easy version, okay? First word, sure. Sure. Next, fear. Fear, ganito. Fear. Like fear. Second, the Lord. The Lord. Third pala, the Lord. Next, serve. Serve. Okay? Next, faithfully. 2 thumbs up. Faithfully. Okay? Next, heart. Heart. Next, consider. Dito sa noo, dito sa gilid ng ulo. Consider. Next, great. Great. Wonderful, marvelous, great. Ganito silang lahat. Next, done. Hands, tas shake niya lang. Done. Next word, you. You. Diba? Ano lang siya? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. May 10 words tayo for easy version. Ngayon, gawin natin, pagdikit-dikitin natin lahat. Ready? But be sure to fear the Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things He has done for you. 1 Samuel 12 verse 24. Next, gagawin natin yung difficult version. Aaralin natin lahat ng words sa memory verse natin. For the older kids, just follow me, okay? First word, but. But. Next, be. Next, sure. Next, to. Next, fear. Okay, fear. But be sure to fear. Next, the Lord. The Lord. Next, and. Next, serve. Next, Him. Next, faithfully. Next, with. Next, all your heart. Masyado bang mabilis? Sige, i-practicein natin yung from the Lord. The Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart. Magaling. Next, consider. Consider, dito sa ulo, consider what What? What? Great. Great. Things. Dito, tap. Things. He has done. Shake lang natin yung hands natin. Done. Next. For you. Okay, review natin. Consider what great things he has done for you. 1 Samuel 12 verse 24. Yan, naaral na natin lahat. Ngayon, pag dikit-dikitin na natin yung difficult version. Okay, ready? Start. But be sure to fear the Lord and serve Him faithfully with all your heart. Consider what great things He has done for you. 1 Samuel 12 verse 24. Yan, meron tayong easy version, tapos difficult version. Nagawa niyong mabuti yung mga yung memory verse natin for this week. Sana practicein niyo siya sa bahay pag wala kayong ginagawa. Kung nahihirapan kayo mag-sign language, pili lang kayo ng mga words na gusto nyong i-sign. Tapos, gumawa kayo ng sarili nyong sign language ng memory verse. Ngayon, magaling na tapos nyo na yung memory verse. Ngayon, kuhain natin ng ating gamit for arts and crafts. Okay?
Hello kids! Sinong ready na mag-crafts ngayong Sunday? Kung ready na kayo, pwede ba kayong sumigaw ng ready na ako? So pa, hindi ko yung marinig. Ayun, kung ready na kayo at ready na rin ako, simulan na natin. Tara! First thing first, ang kailangan natin ngayon para materials ng crafts natin, itong pottery. Ayan. And also, cardstock or cardboard or anything na use holders na pwede natin idikit dito para lumigas yung paper natin para maging card siya mamaya. And also glue. Then, scissors. Okay. I-paste na lang muna natin siya para madali na lang natin agad gupitin. Ayan, kapag okay na, kapag may dikit naman, medyo basa pa siya. Pag natuyo na yung glue, pwede na natin siyang gupitin. Tapos na natin silang igupitin. Total na ito kids lahat is 10. May 10 magkakaparehas dito. Hanapin muna natin sila lahat. Tingnan, pairs sila. And then pairs na. Pairs. Pairs. So, ano bang gagawin namin dito, Ate Julian? Ang gagawin niyo po, maghahanap kayo ng playmates. Ayan. Di ba masaya kapag may playmates? Pwedeng kapatid niyo, pinsan, or maybe friend niyo talaga. So, ganito lang pong gagawin natin. Pag sumasamahin po natin lahat, ito ang mga pairs. Ayan. Para siyang card. So, after natin pag sumasamahin, taob natin siya para hindi makita ang bawat isa. Kailangan competitive tayo, kids, para manalo. Pero dapat, enjoy lang yung game. Kailangan mapipikon. So, after natin pag sumasamahin, i-reshuffle po natin siya. And then, ilalapag po natin yung bawat card nito. Ayan, pag nailapag na lahat, make your turn muna. Ang gagawin nyo, mag-flip lang kayo ng isang card. Tapos, pag na-flip nyo na isang card, hahanapin nyo yung kaparehas niya. Kapag hindi nyo nahanap yung kaparehas niya, ibabalik nyo siyang sa pag-flip. Itataog nyo ulit siya. So, try natin. Try ko to i-flip. Death of firstborn. So, kailangan ko mahanap din yung kaparehas na ito, yung death of firstborn. Try tayo ng cure. Oh! So, since hindi magkaparehas yung nahanap ko, ito-turn down ulit natin siya. And then, turn naman ng playmates nyo or yung opponents sa kabila. Halimbawa, ito. Siya. Ayan. Kailangan niya hanapin yung kaparehas. Eh, mali na naman siya. Mali na naman yung nakuha ko. So, kung mali din yung nakuha ng playmates nyo, turn down niya ulit. Tapos, your turn naman. So, since ito yung flip natin first, then that firstborn. Then, ito. So, yay! I got one pair. Kapag nakuha niyo yung one pair, or pag nagkaroon na kayo ng pair, itatabi niyo siya. So, maalis na siya dito sa pag-flip. So, ganun lang hanggang sa maubos niyo yung card. Enjoy, kids! So, yun na natapos na natin yung crafts natin ngayon. Yung Sunday. I'm sure na ma-enjoy niyo to together with your playmates. We sent you for i-share niyo sa comment section natin yung mga gawa nitong cards ito, and also together with your playmates na naglalaro kayo ng crafts. So, see you next Sunday, please!